can all see the stream. Let's see it go live. Hopefully it is now. Just say in the chat box yes or something real quick if you can see this. But anyway, hello everybody, welcome back to another crypto live stream. Today, we've got a juicy amount of crypto news to cover, as there's a lot going on, and instead of making all these videos that are going to be coming out a lot later, I thought, you know what, I've got a ton of news to share, and there's not necessarily one specific topic. Let's just do a live stream and get everything out of the way. All right, because we've got a lot of interesting news to share, guys. Trust me when I say that I think you guys will enjoy what I've got to bring y'all, all right? Because it's going to be an interesting one. Again, it's a little new setup. Things are significantly different than usual. But in terms of news, I don't think we will disappoint. Because one of the things that a lot of you guys were already, hopefully, you see, why do sometimes things go wrong? Let me just quickly try to change this up then. Sometimes things go wrong, you know? Oh, c'est la vie, hein? C'est la vie. There we go. Hopefully that is all good. There we go. All right. So as I was trying to say, one of those things which got crazy over on Twitter is that Bitboy, one of the biggest cryptocurrency YouTube channels, and I guess crypto influencers of sorts, is leaving the space. Yeah, it was news from last night. It basically got to circulating ever so slightly because it's quite confusing. But as you can see right here, the guys over at Bitboy, they're like a big group of different content pieces. Hello, Around the Blockchain guests. Maybe you know, maybe you don't. I've been on there a couple of times. I just got an email from them a couple days ago. Effective immediately, Ben Armstrong, founder of Bitboy, Bitboy himself, will no longer be working at Hit Network and BG Investments Holdings and all subsidiary brands, including but not limited to Bitboy Crypto and Around the Blockchain. This decision has not been easy. However, after long consideration, we are confident this is the only path forward. If you have any questions, reach out to Drew. Now, and I actually didn't do that because I thought, they're going to apparently give an update a little bit later. I have yet to see the update. Let's quickly check it out if one has been posted already. No, nothing just quite yet. It just says here there's been some sort of coup happening at their company coming out from Ben Bitboy. Could be two things. One, this could be a major grab for attention. It's definitely possible. Two, is that this is all happening because of their Ben cryptocurrency that he has to go into hiding a little bit. On the contrary, I'm seeing him with a couple of my friends as well here, just out for dinner. So with him, everything should be looking pretty fine. From that perspective, I am not exactly sure what's going on because, if some people are trying to take over your company, I'd pretty much fly back to the office and give everybody a beatdown. So I'm not so sure exactly how he can be at some crypto event chilling if all is as eager as it looks. But I just wanted to quickly share that because that situation is pretty wild. And it's what's keeping a lot of people in the crypto space on guard. The fact that, one of the biggest creators is having some sort of issue. And I wonder, perhaps together with the title, is this because of a regulatory perspective that he's being careful? Or is this just because some people are money hungry and they're trying to take over his company? I do not know. What I do know, though, is that people usually panic for things, even though they don't necessarily need to. And before we move on, everybody, let me know in the chat box real quick where you're watching this video from or this stream from. Right now in the chat box, I'm seeing everybody talking. I see Adam saying it's 6 a.m. in Texas right now. Damn, you an early bird, huh? But welcome to the chat. We've got Hugh saying, what's going on? I'll tell you about everything. Nick from Denmark, what's up? Adam says it's a legal thing. I bet he can't pump his own bags. Now, to be honest, there's a lot of different things that would make sense in this whole debacle. There are so many explanations we won't know for sure until a significant amount later. And even then, we won't know for sure. Because as you guys know, in the crypto space, a lot of this stuff, it looks one thing, but it is really another. What I mean with that is he can tell us, oh, but I'm doing this because somebody's taken over my company. But in reality, it could all be because he's trying to make more money this way. Or he's trying to get a lot of attention this way by planning all this. So again, I'm just not going to be the judge here. I'm just a casual observer. And I give you guys the news because I thought it was rather interesting. I wanted to say, many things, they look a certain way when you're in them. But when you zoom out, they're significantly different. Like with the whole Bitboy situation. One thing to point out is as well, every single cycle, there's people saying crypto is done for. It's over. It's never going to recover. And time again, it does. Just wanted to quickly point out, within the halving cycles, right? Every single time it goes towards an all-time high. Just want you guys to realize this. Straight afterwards, it crumbles down about 80 to 90% in Bitcoin price before recovering and breaking again yet another all-time high. Just wanted to quickly show you guys that it happens in the exact same pattern every single time. I'm not so sure what it looked like here. Let's quickly check it out. You can see every single time it breaks down about 80% before it recovers and it gets to greater heights than it's ever been. Right here, again, when it got to about $14,000 per Bitcoin or so, it faced the same fate, where people thought, no, it's over, it's never going to return. And you can see the general line that's been upheld throughout these months here, right? The general trend line. Even right now, we got pretty much towards it again over the last week or two, but we've not broken it. And generally speaking, I still believe that the direction where cryptocurrencies are going to be going is the upside, right? Because again, every single time it happens in this way, every single time we just continue to go towards the upside with major crashes in the midst, but the upside nonetheless. You know, so just for anybody that we good? There we go. All right. New setup. I have to, make sure things are working smoothly as I am trying to go from one piece of technology to another. Sometimes that's not the easiest thing in the world, though, let me tell you. All right. To go from one piece of technology to another. Trying to put my light up a little bit more as well, but it ain't gonna work, huh? No. No, I'm not so sure where it's supposed to be. Let me go find it. I'm just trying to put the light a little bit higher. Maybe that would be better. But no, the light's not trying to work with me anymore. Again, sometimes these technology pieces, they're not my best friend. Everybody, if you've not done it yet, make sure you go ahead and press the like button as we've got a lot to talk about. We also want to talk a little bit about risk management. That might be something you don't really see in my stream or videos too often. A little theoretical piece like this. It says, Binance sheds light on low-cap altcoin risk management process. And even though I don't really care about the way in which they do things, and I think the majority of what they want to say is they're getting rid of a lot of different options on their platform to basically be there for the people. All I want to say is, guys, in the next bull run, I still believe it to the core of my heart, we're going to see many different coins go from $1 million in market cap to $1 billion in market cap, being 1,000x. And I am personally going to spend a lot of time looking for these specific gems to turn $1,000 into $1 million, turn $1 million into $1 billion, who knows, right? The thing is, I also understand that many of these will fail. And I just want to always point out in this video, I was going to try to more often, that it's a calculated game. If you're in the crypto space, you have two sides. One side is the casual, the person that's buying whatever he's being told or buying it because somebody told him to. The other person is the one who understands it. Every single one of you that's watching this stream right now falls into this second category. Even though you might not be fully as advanced as some others, you at least understand enough to look this stuff up on your own. And the thing is right there, you should also know then that in the next bull market, because I believe it's officially already started, but we're not at the peak, right? We're going to be getting so many different opportunities yet again also to grab these coins at early prices. But as long as you understand it's a calculated game where you don't put all your eggs into one basket but spread them out, very, very, very often, I think if you got the chance multiple times, you'd be fine. You'd be successful. You'd be extremely well off if you play your cards right the next cycle. So from a risk management perspective, I personally say right now we're staying with the higher cap coin. So not too risky just quite yet until we start to see crazy bullish sentiment, basically, where new people, fresh meat gets in, crazy excitement comes around again. Only from that point on forward are we going to go bonanza. Right now, it's not that time. So when people ask me about their altcoin, that's a number like 2,000 or so, I'm telling them, well, it's not the time for it yet. And there might be a good time to buy it soon enough, but it's not now. Anyway, Ripple versus SEC case, unrevealed XRP memo put into spotlight by legal analysts. I did not even see this just now. Apparently, John Deedon, closely following the Ripple battle, recently suggested that a 2018, let me actually put this up here, a 2018 internal memo from enforcement lawyers did not recommend any action against Ripple for its sales of XRP tokens. It says right here, to be clear, okay, let's quickly go on. It's between Bill and John. He says, to be clear, I didn't say the memo concluded XRP is not a security. The memo was found to be privileged and not disclosed, so I haven't heard exactly what it says, but the judge found it important to note that the authors of the memo, who were enforcement lawyers at the SEC, did not recommend any action to be taken. Thus, the memo did not conclude that XRP is clearly a security as of June 13, 2018. Or there would have been a recommendation for enforcement or some action. So what that means is one of these older documents apparently does not state, oh, XRP is certainly a security from within the SEC. Otherwise, every single person at the SEC would have said, we recommend to go after them. But apparently some lawyers were saying, no, don't go after them. So that means even though they didn't outright say it's not a security, at least they weren't afraid of it. That's actually quite interesting. Actually, very interesting. Haven says, can TJ and Bitboy cage fight? You know, around the whole Bitboy situation, it's actually a lot more interesting than I'm making it seem, because obviously I understand a little bit from the inside. I know these guys very well, all right? I know these guys pretty freaking well, and I understand as well a little bit more than I'm letting off here. But that's mostly from the perspective that it's what they're updating the community with. So if you're wondering what's going on there, I don't know the full details of things. I only know a little bit more than what we're seeing, but it doesn't still, from my perspective, make any sense at all, in the sense of none of the explanations that I've heard make sense. But Adam, for example, is pointing out, there are apparently rumors that Bitboy is leaving Bitboy channel and transferring the intellectual property to others because of some sort of investigation. And the Bitboy Twitter account also removed his face from the profile picture. I don't know if it's true, but I sure as hell hope it is. Some are also saying that this is all happening because of a deal made with Ben, and so he basically had to sell everything to get into it, and that's now backtracking, or how do you say, like backstabbing him. It's an interesting situation. It's a scary one because, well, if really people are stealing his account, for example, if that turns out to be the real truth, even that would just be insane to realize, but it's possible. It's possible that you take on investors, for example, you sign a deal to basically sign your life away, and now the repercussions start where people are trying to take what they were owed, so to speak. It's also very much possible. So that situation is it's business at the end of the day, right? These guys knew what they were up to, and like I've also stated in the past, the bigger your organization becomes, the more afraid you should be of somebody taking away your shit. It's as simple as that. I've actually got a juicy tweet on that a little bit earlier. Let me quickly see if I can find it. I think I liked it just now here. So anybody into XRP, anybody that's holding XRP, if you're watching right now, make sure you go ahead and just let me know in the chat box and make sure you press that like button. So Panel said this: if past XRP holders will be able to earn for the first time income on chain. And it's referring to this. Are you ready for Ripple version 1.12? The following amendments are to be expected. Fixed reduced offers V1, feature AMM, XLS30. This release is currently scheduled for September 11th. 2 trivial issues remain to be resolved, yada, yada, yada. And the point here that we were talking about is right here. Since the XRP AMM was announced, many people have been wondering about the risks and how permanent loss works when you provide liquidity. And I've said it before. I think every single part of this is very cool for the XRP Ledger, for XRP. I love it all. But whenever you are allowing for people to get yield or earn or whatever, you take away what David Schwartz said is the most beautiful piece of it all. The best incentive is no incentive. The moment people are incentivized, they're going to find shady stuff. They're going to be looking hard to make money on top of other people, yada, yada, yada. And at the end of the day, it's a very long question as to whether or not this is nice or bad. It's going to hurt a lot of people in the process, and it's pretty difficult to understand exactly how this makes things better. It does, I'd say, for the most part. However, it gets back to like I just was trying to say. Is the best incentive no incentive? Well, I can definitely agree with that notion of saying, no, it's better to never give anybody anything for whatever they're doing. Otherwise, they're only going to do it for money or for greed purposes, all that type of stuff. And, well, with the XRP Ledger, I kind of agree with it on the same squad. I read squad, and that's why I said it out loud. Somebody asked, what's the Russian coup d'etat going on with the Bit Squad? Yeah, well, we don't know fully. All we know is that it's a pretty shady situation. It could be because of the coin. It could be because of an investigation. It could be because people are just trying to look out for money, and so they're trying to hurt him out of his own company. It's not the first time that this is happening, right, in the world. I mean, we've heard it for, I guess, thousands of times where people are driven out of their own company by either stakeholders or people in interest, and especially with social media, right? The way he's built it out, in theory, he could also make this all a show where this is going to grab him hundreds of thousands of eyeballs, because even I'm making a video on it now. And so that's the greater scheme here. Then again, I'm also thinking it could also be that because he tried to basically push his own face out for a long time, the rest of the team was now all of a sudden thinking, Bitboy, you know what? You don't really need to be here anymore. You're going to take up a smaller role. We think it's better because you're so controversial that we take out the pieces, or because you are fighting a public fight about your Ben token. Get the frick out. You know, we don't want you in our company with your liabilities, with your risk. There's so much possible with this. It's some people are saying he's just losing it. He's gone crazy off of, some uppers, some little, I don't know what analogy to put there. Some medicine, let's call it. So he's losing his mind, and so he needs to get back to rehab or something. Again, I'm not the judge. I like the guy as an individual. I think he's a little bit twitchy, but he's a businessman at the end of the day, and he does business really freaking well. From that perspective, I'm thinking this might all be a lot bigger of a move than meets the eye, because he's not a freaking dumbass, right? This guy's extremely smart. He knows his business in and out, and he's been working hard for it. So I don't think he's going to just let it be taken. So either it had to be some sort of inside plan or yada, yada. That's my thoughts. That's my 2 cents. Everybody, I've been noticing now we got to 58 likes. If you've not done it yet, make sure you go ahead and press the like button on this video. To get to 100 likes, we've already had like 500 people watching by now. So make sure you go ahead and press the like button and let us move on. We just talked about this legal memo, this legal piece here, where basically some analysts at the SEC said that XRP probably was not a security. They didn't, say it's not a security. They just didn't say it was a security, which is actually bullish news, even though some people might not fully understand that just quite yet. Mark Fagel, from, I believe, also an ex-SEC member, not so sure on that, is saying, with the caveat again, that we don't know the state of the SEC's investigation at that time. So we don't know how far into it they were at the time of this letter, basically, this non-recommendation. Anyway. Galaxy Digital's Mike Novogratz weighs in on the SEC v. Ripple verdict, urges transparent regulation. I've actually talked about this a little bit earlier. What I said with this was the fact that right now, everybody in crypto knows that the thing that needs to happen is crypto regulations. It just needs to, right? And I'm not the biggest fan of it because, as we saw with the crypto tax rules that the US is trying to put forward, they're trying to basically make you poor still. Any single time they try to make regulations, it's instead of serving you and for the betterment of you, it's like for the worst. In India, though, they're also looking into it. Apparently, PM Modi champions global tech rules for crypto. The PM champions global unity in regulating fast-paced tech evolution, advocating for inclusive rules on crypto and emerging technologies. So apparently, he's been, let's see if we can actually watch this.
अब जैसे क्रिप्टो करेंसी से जुड़ी चुनौती है, इस मामले में ज्यादा से ज्यादा.
Nice. I understand nothing because I can't speak the language. Hopefully one of you guys can and translate it. There's actually some Twitter bots that allow you to translate it with AI nowadays. I should have actually been doing that. I didn't even think about it. That would have been so cool if I did that. If I set that up properly. No, I should have done that. That would have been nice. I'm just seeing you guys in the chat real quick, just saying all this different stuff. They are scammers. Dusty, you're into XX Network. I don't know what that is. If it helps the XRP Ledger network, yes. Well, it all depends because it can help a network with it still being worse overall. BlackRock trying to get him. I have a theory, not necessarily only about BlackRock. I mean, we've talked about debt for a while. There's one specific piece I want to show you here if I can find it in my long list of things. Might not be able to find it. Give it a second. I have it somewhere, so let me see where exactly it's supposed to be. I'll just type it in. Fidelity. Here we go. So basically, the idea that a lot of you guys, and this is some like exposing, some people call it, but the idea that some people have that, oh, BlackRock is just now coming in is completely flawed and dumb. I've talked about this before, but let me show you guys two things. MicroStrategy, BlackRock. All right, I'm going to show you something a lot of people are not showing you, but these are my thoughts, and if it's wrong, let me know. This is BlackRock's ownership in MicroStrategy. If you don't know what MicroStrategy is, it's a company that for the most part is now known for holding Bitcoin. It's actually already alive since like 1997 or something like that. I don't remember the exact year, but for decades already. But they've recently focused like a decade ago or something like that, like a couple years ago, on going mostly for just buying Bitcoin and people buying it basically as some sort of ETF. If you, for example, though, look through when exactly BlackRock has been buying into MicroStrategy, you'd notice officially, right? Apparently, they've had shares since 2012, 650,000 of them, and right now they own 750,000 of them. Now, I don't see the full like dates between 2016 and like 2012, so I don't know exactly what they were doing in the midst of time. But we can officially confirm between 2016 and 2023 that they've held shares and they've increased and decreased it over time. But even though I'm not sure exactly at which point MicroStrategy's like way of doing business changed, perhaps it was only like right around this point or whatever. It doesn't really necessarily matter when it started to change, because BlackRock has been interested in knowing about this for way longer than meets the eye. All right. And whoa, we've got a ton of viewers. Guys, look at that. Whoa. How many viewers are we at right now, guys? That is insane. Woo! Okay, that is wild. Anybody type in the chat real quick how many people we've got watching. Let me also quickly, before I share my story, just quickly post this over on Twitter and just quickly over in our Telegram before we move on. I'm just quickly sharing it over in my Telegram if I can. There we go. Here we go. Just sharing that we are live real quick. And there we go. All right. So to continue on, I've been saying this more often than not. But I tells you, all right? I tells you that BlackRock knows about Bitcoin way better than you might realize. It's only been recently that they filed for the Bitcoin ETF, right? All that type of cool stuff. Well, apparently they've gotten their hands on MicroStrategy 11 years ago. This is not a new thing. Now, again, I'm not so sure which of these years MicroStrategy started focusing on Bitcoin, but BlackRock's exposure to Bitcoin has been ongoing for a longer time. And I even shared over on Twitter very, very recently here. Let me actually quickly show it to you guys again as well. That this is not just some type of, oh, you know what, let's dabble into this for the moment or anything like that. No, BlackRock has known about this for way longer. And anybody saying that it's just a random thing is freaking like out of their mind. BlackRock has been eyeing Bitcoin for way longer than you might realize. Every move has been calculated years ago. That's like a response to saying, in 2017, Larry Fink, the CEO, calls Bitcoin an index of money laundering. I personally don't believe this was his actual opinion. The way I personally see it, this was all one calculated move as well. And what that means is that these guys knew exactly what was up with Bitcoin, exactly what was up with crypto, and decided to call it out. Perhaps to get prices lower, perhaps to give the market some certain expectations. Because again, if we look at the numbers, they've been buying into this crypto space, even though MicroStrategy was not fully focused on it just quite yet by then. But anyway, for a longer time, they've been having their eyes on it for a longer time. And Fidelity, one of the other huge asset managers in the world. You guys might know these guys. Everybody, if you're watching this right now, we've got a ton of viewers in. Make sure you go ahead and press the like button on this stream. It would be greatly appreciated. We've got a ton of people in here. That's cool. So with regards to this, the Fidelity mafia behind crypto, or big crypto, the mutual fund powerhouse was a Bitcoin pioneer and built a deep talent pipeline for the industry. Let me actually quickly show you guys Fidelity. Fidelity AUM. I'm not sure how much assets they have under management. Here, they're like the second biggest potentially in the world, third, fourth. I'm not so sure exactly where on the rankings they are. All right. It says right here they've got $4.5 trillion in assets under management. Charles Schwab has 7.13. Vanguard has 7.2. BlackRock 8.6 as of this exact moment. And these guys, where was the article, have also been in the crypto space for way longer than you might realize. And they're way deeper rooted into all this than you might realize because they're not trying to show it to you. All right. From the front lines, they're not trying to show it to you, but they are. And I've got it somewhere here, I think over on Peak Forge. I found it. Let me quickly show you Peak Forge if I can see it among my profile somewhere. Here we go. All right. So as you can see from this little sheet over here, or this little thread of sorts, what it basically showcases is that these guys have been mining Bitcoin for nearly a decade. All right. They got into crypto when Bitcoin was just $400. Fidelity's been around for a long time, and they understand the growth of this all, and they started focusing on that already 5 years ago as well. From the forefront, they're making it look as if everything is scary, and oh no, well, there's all these scams, all this stuff going on. In the background, though, of sorts, they know exactly what is wisdom. They know exactly what is wisdom, and they're focusing on making sure they can grow in this whole section. Today, Fidelity has more than 600 employees in its crypto unit and stores billions in customers' crypto assets. It's also working on launching a Bitcoin ETF. But the Bitcoin ETF didn't all of a sudden come. No, they've been working on this for way longer than many people realize. And I'd say the exact same thing is true for BlackRock. On one end, they're making it seem as if this is all new, this is all yada, yada, yada. But really, if you start looking into it, they've been working on this for an extremely long amount of time. This is not something that happened overnight. These guys are not stupid, as you guys know. Yeah. Just quickly in the chat, type in your favorite cryptocurrency. I just want to quickly see what type of audience we've got in here. Just quickly put it in the chat box. What's your favorite crypto? Is it XRP, Bitcoin, whatever? Let me know in the chat real quick. Just for fun. Okay, we've got an XRP in there. Mark says XRP. Daniel says XRP. Steven says XRP. America Show says XRP. Kungfu says XRP. Michael says XRP. Okay. Ada, Algorand right now sitting at bottom still. Anybody love an H-bar? Is there anybody that likes H-bar as a crypto? Cardano, I use the ecosystem. Cardano ecosystem is huge. That's true. We've got a lot of XRPs in there. Mark saying XRP, or Mark saying H-bar. Flair says Pepe as well. H-bar, I like H-bar. Because I had one piece on H-bar that I just wanted to quickly show you guys. I'm not sure exactly where it is. Here we go. A reminder that H-bar should be taken extremely seriously. And I've said this in the past on multiple different occasions, but people sometimes seem to forget just how many cryptocurrencies out there get to these levels. It's not many, all right? Here's the Hedera ecosystem overview. And what you'll find in there is some of these are garbage. Like, for example, you find Hex in there as a wallet and custodian. I'm not so sure exactly why that's a flex or a good thing. But a lot of these guys I know very well. And it's mostly, I'd say, in these two pieces here. The Web3 ecosystem and the enterprise applications rather than, obviously wallets. Or perhaps you could even look at the governing council with Dell in there, Google in there, all these behemoths of guys in there. But I'd say XRP has it on a level like this, and HBAR has it on a level like this, and there's probably a couple of others, but that are really just absolutely insane when it comes to partnerships. I believe VeChain is one of those ones too, that where the price is not properly showcasing just how cool these guys have been throughout the years. And the only problem with VeChain is, right, I actually met up with the VeChain co-founder not too long ago, and not Sunny Liu, another co-founder. There's been multiple co-founders. And after my discussion with him, I noticed VeChain has a very specific use case, but a lot of it is not necessarily that bullish on the token. Is VeChain extremely good? It's been built properly, and they've got some of the best partnerships in crypto. But if we're talking about really pure increase of our money, there's a couple of cryptos that I think would just do it way better. I'm talking Algorand, HBAR, XRP that I think have more potential, where the token is also actually going to increase massively. Again, those are just my thoughts. But yeah, HBAR is one of those where I really think if you sit down for half an hour, look at exactly what they've been building, look at exactly at the trust that's been installed into them. Yeah, not the masses will understand, but only a few will right now until it takes off, right? And then the majority of people will get in once it's too late. That's kind of what I think for HBAR. And I think about that with a lot of different cryptos sometimes, like, for example, with XRP2. Many people will get onto the boat the moment it's too late. Utility is already shining. People are just not trying to see all the details of it just quite yet. But realistically, I think HBAR is on a different level in terms of partnerships, and it's on the forefront, right? And once more, don't trust what these guys are showing you in the forefront. What I mean with that is, again, HBAR themselves, they're also still being very low fire, all right? And I might get an interview with them going at some point. I think I got their contacts a little while ago at one of the conferences. I might want to do that. I might want to do more like shows of sorts where I just do like either a live stream every single day. That could be pretty cool, where I just go over all the most important crypto news in like in half an hour or an hour. Or just have like a standard just videos like I normally do, but then also a show on the side so I can interview more cool people, and then you guys can recommend who we should talk to and all that type of stuff, right? That type of stuff would be very cool, I think. Because I'm also like Altcoin Daily. I just texted them like last week, and they said, okay, when do you want to do a video or an interview? But I don't know what type of format. Should I do an actual interview? So you just get them all for an episode? I never know exactly what is wisdom. If you guys have any questions for Altcoin Daily, let me know as well, because they're going to be on probably this week, maybe next week or something like that. So yeah, that's a little side note. I'm just adding in here for you guys on the live stream. Yeah, with regards to XRP, there's also one other thing. I've been noticing so much garbage when it comes to news in the XRP community, and I despise it. One of those things I'm pointing out towards here is this. All right, people keep throwing around some sort of fake picture about this is about BIS. Hello, did you make this BIS image? Was it given to you? It's 100% fake. It's about XRP and the BIS system, yada, yada, yada. And I really despise people that either make fake content like this or that promote these fake dumbass things. And I've called Adolf Farina out multiple times for I guess on purpose, spreading false information around the crypto space. He probably is a very good guy, but this guy is literally trying to get engagement through any way, shape, or form possible by spreading fake news. And I've already confirmed it multiple times. And again, I'm not against being overly hyping, all right, overly excited, because I understand that sometimes people want to be like that. But I really, really, really disagree that that you should spread news when you know it's fake, or if you're just completely disregarding the authenticity of something, right? You guys hopefully understand what I mean with that. Just verify your source a little bit. Make sure that people don't get misinformed all the way through. That's the way I usually see it as the best way going forward. But yeah, people had to confirm indeed that a lot of this misinformation spread, or a lot of this news that was spread was misinformation. And I just wanted to quickly get this out to you guys as well. But these two guys, you might like them, you might love them, I don't care. But they're literally just spreaders of fake news because people like to buy it up, right? People eat it all up. They don't care that it's fake. They're just like, oh, thank you for this info. And I'm looking at it like, huh? But it's obviously fake. Why are people liking this? Sometimes people are simple, though. They just like whatever sounds the best, even though it's ridiculously stupid. And I'm a big fan of XRP, you guys know. But saying boom and then just spreading a false rumor, it gets you nowhere. At least I personally think. What gets you somewhere, is getting people on that have some proper crypto interest. The Thailand new prime minister apparently has got a lot of crypto interest. And I've been posting about that for a little bit now over on Twitter. This spring that you're seeing right here, X Spring, it's not the spring that Ripple has, by the way. It's a different spring. Just want to make that clear. But apparently this guy just wants to improve the country and the economy. And he's been known to be pretty bullish on cryptocurrencies. It could be very interesting to see how they're going to airdrop in terms of the CBDC, or what they're going to do in terms of their crypto policy for keeping the people free and all that. Okay, why did I do that? That was not smart. Almost drowned myself. Damn. Okay. Okay. That was not smart. I'm still alive, I think. I hope. Damn. Okay. Oh. Wouldn't that be something, huh? I'm just making a freaking live stream. I'm just doing a little video, and all of a sudden, I freaking die. Like, okay, I know. I'm saying it in a crazy manner, but it's like, I'm just chilling here. Oh, XRP, this XRP. And all of a sudden, you guys just see me trying to become a fish. And it, like Kung Fu Tuber, or like a Jasper Scissors. And it just, have you ever thought about that? Whatever. That it could work? Just like, I'm just doing my thing. And all of a sudden, I am no more, right? And you guys all witnessed that. Whew, okay. I think we're still good. I think we're still alive, at least ever so slightly, All right. Woo. All right. Haven says, don't worry, we would use your death to pump XRP. And, you know, at the end of the day, that's what I would have wanted. All right. I appreciate that a lot. Thank you for thank you for saying that. I appreciate that a whole lot. That's good to hear. All right. A little bit scary, but yeah. What I'm showing you here, by the way, is the U.S. national debt. I don't think there's too much that I need to add except for saying that it's actually just insane the way this has been going. It's just absolutely freaking huge. And I sometimes just like to just take this in for a second. Just look it up for a second, take it in, and understand that indeed the U.S., from a certain perspective, I'm not sure it cannot be saved, but they're not on the right way to saving it. That's the way I'd like to put it. They're not towards going the right way to getting this saved, getting this up and running again in a good way. They're just letting it fall. They're just letting it fall time and time and time again. And I'd say for the most part, that's why we keep reading these headlines of the BRICS countries, which now, by the way, is going to become BRICS plus, just expanding all over the place. Now, here's, for example, BRICS member India ditching the US dollar, purchasing 1 million barrels of oil with rupees for the first time ever. It's changing, all right? BRICS member India has reportedly purchased oil from the UAE using its national currency for the first time ever instead of the US dollar. And yeah, the UAE and all these other countries are joining BRICS as well because they're trying to get rid of the US dollar's reliance. Maybe for the most part because their country, even though the US is amazing in a lot of ways, is really turning into garbage, into dog shit, literally. There's no better way to put it, all right? And I've pointed out on many different occasions that I personally believe perhaps this whole Ripple debacle, this whole lawsuit, this whole situation is a lot more manipulated than meets the eye. And what I mean with that is that so many things inside the lawsuit are weird that I sometimes believe maybe this is all just one big plan, right? But on some fronts, I just don't think that every single thing can be planned. Like, is it, for example, the truth that JPMorgan had a big Bitcoin plan from the get-go? Well, it seems like it. But do they also have different cryptocurrencies like in their mind here that they want to work with or that they want to take over? Or is their whole end goal just to become richer themselves, and so they're only focused on JPM coin as a banking currency, basically, right? JPMorgan analyst says weakness in Bitcoin appears to be at its end phase. Why are these guys bullish on crypto, though? It's because they're trying to... I'm either becoming schizophrenic or there's a little fly in here. Are these guys just trying to give their clients the best advice possible? Or is it just because they've got so many different analysts, so one is bound to be bullish on it? Or is it all just one big scheme as well, where these guys are saying it on one end, on the other end acting on it? What I mean with that is on one end, they're saying, no, it's really bearish. On the other end, saying, no, it's really bullish, because they don't want to give you the actual truth in it all, because at that point, you'd be too certain and make steady actions. But it seems they always want you to be confused. At least that's the way I see it whenever I read into things. Like, why, for example, have Jay Clayton and William Heyman never gotten a proper investigation? Why? Right? Well, because the moment that they do, you might find out they've been either fraudsters or biased and conflict of interest wise. And perhaps that would lead some others to make proper rules about crypto because apparently their testimonies were not to be trusted. But for some reason, they don't want crypto to be clear. Why is that, though? Here was a little article. Ripple's XRP whales are soaring fast as accumulation accelerates. Is a monster bull move nigh? And I keep shouting about this. The bull market is calculated in. We all know it. And again, guys, I am not your financial advisor, but I am telling you, I've been in the crypto space for a decade, all right? I've been in here for so long, I understand one thing and one thing very well. Every single time it dies out, it recovers greater than it died out at. Right now, crypto is not over. Even family members, they ask me all the time, do you really think this crypto thing will last? And I keep looking at their face thinking, I don't know. In reality, though, I know fully well. Every single time it goes like this, it goes 80% down, then makes a new all-time high in about a third into the next cycle. 80% down makes a new all-time high about a third into the next cycle. 80% down makes a new all-time high about a third into the next cycle. And it's going to continue on like that. It's even earlier than what I'm showing you here. It's going to be somewhere around here, perhaps like the middle of 2025 or so, a new all-time high. But it's going to happen like that time and time again, at least for the foreseeable future, until things are changed. What I mean by things are changed, perhaps on the regulatory front or perhaps the institutional investors. But even then, like, it still, things are so planned in such a strange manner. Why are they trying to push all this Ripple XRP stuff out until after the Bitcoin halving? Sometimes, and I've stated this before, I think that the whole Ripple lawsuit was done in this way deliberately so that XRP could never benefit from the massive hype moments. Because every single time there was a crazy amount of hype in crypto, XRP was like negatively impacted with this lawsuit. Right now as well, XRP got to 95 cents or so. And all of a sudden, just before that, the price was pushed down hard, when in reality, we all expected it to crush prices like crazy. And then all of a sudden, when XRP started to pick itself back up again, the moment that it did, the SEC filed yet another negative little Nancy. And I sometimes keep thinking, this stuff is not fair. This stuff doesn't really make sense. But they want it that way. They deliberately built it this way from the ground up. That's what I personally believe. Again, as you start looking into the details of things, you probably agree with me also that it can't make a lot of sense, because otherwise you'd be too certain you'd make too much money. If you understand as well as I did that crypto works in certain cycles, you can bet everything on it, which again, I don't necessarily recommend, but you could, which is what I'm doing. And you'd be crazy freaking rich within a year or 3. And they don't want you to be that. So they want to keep making you confused. They, oh no, crypto's actually only for fraudsters. Crypto's only for hucksters. While they themselves, like we're seeing in all these analyses, like for example, right here, while they themselves are getting so big into crypto, building everything up. And I've even put up a thread about this not too long ago over on my Twitter. Let me just quickly open it up on the side if I can. I put this over on my Twitter because I want you guys to realize this. Again, I always try to spread the truth and nothing but the truth to you guys. Let me show it to you right here if I can. First of all, SEC, BlackRock, they're all one big scheme as well. These guys are not stupid either. But that's on a little different note. On another side note, BlackRock has been saying for a long time they need a new catalyst to take them to 20 trillion. And they've said before that it's going to take them until 2030, I believe, to get to 20 trillion. I still believe crypto is going to be that thing that takes them there. Let me quickly see where I was putting it up. Here. BlackRock will soon enough, and potentially Vanguard, potentially Fidelity, one of these guys, all these guys. And you can extrapolate this to not only Bitcoin, but XRP, whatever. BlackRock will soon be the biggest owner of Bitcoin. It's a couple years, or in a couple years, it will be almost impossible for the non-elite to get themselves one entire Bitcoin. Currently, there are about 1 million whole coiners, and this number probably has peaked already, as institutions are going to step in hard to get your coins. There are only 21 million Bitcoin that will ever exist. Remember that. And on that notion, I'd like to state indeed, the majority of people don't realize that in the background, BlackRock and whatever, Fidelity, all these guys, they've not gotten in because they think it's just a lot of fun and, oh, they want to help their people. No, think about it. There will only, for Bitcoins in, right, be 21 million Bitcoin ever in existence. If these guys went all of a sudden excited on the forefront, do you think they do that because that way they'd increase the price and make it more expensive for them to buy it? If they got into it for 1%, what makes you think they only want that 1%? They want to make money on every single percentage that they can. These guys are not playing games. These guys are the biggest money that there is out there. They're not stupid. So they're never going to let you know their next move until it's too late. If they're saying crypto is so bullish, but the same day the price goes down, they're the biggest asset managers in the world. Any person in the investment realm takes them extremely seriously. If they are saying, we're going for crypto, and the price goes down, and you don't think that's deliberate, then we're not here to discuss anything anymore. Get out, because you just don't understand. It's mental to me that people can't fathom the idea that if the biggest asset managers in the world, let's hypothesize here, who would know best how to invest? Oh, probably the guys that own half the motherfucking world. So if they're saying, hey, this area, it's really going to boom, and it's only worth like $1 trillion, when they themselves are managing like 10 trillion, and they're saying they're going to get to 20 trillion, and I believe them because they've gotten to 10 trillion, so I believe they're going to get to 20 trillion in the next couple of years, and they're going for this sector, and you're like, nah, that sector must not be good. I just can't fully fathom that. I just don't fully understand people that are off that notion. All right, that's just my thoughts on the matter. Anyway, if you're still watching this, make sure you go ahead and press the like button on the live stream, because why not? And Again, let me know where you guys are all watching from right now. I see somebody in the chat just say, watching from India. All right. What time is it for you guys? Is it 5 p.m. Dubai time? What time is it for you guys right now? Or 4 p.m. Dubai time? Who's watching this in like the morning? Some crazy morning. We got Florida. Okay, that must be pretty early. We got Arizona in there as well. All right. You're the real, the morning crawlers, huh? You guys are all appreciated. Good old Texas. All right, all right, all right. I've been to Florida. I've been to Austin, Texas, both this year. Yeah, I went to Florida and Texas this year. Still this year, I think I'll be visiting a couple U.S. places. I think that must be cool. Most Asian places I've gone to this year as well, and I'll go to a couple of cool things again. Malaysia was beautiful. Thailand was amazing this year. Been to a lot of cool things. Namibia, okay, that's the first that I've seen Namibia in the chat. Welcome, welcome. Rotterdam, like Miami Beach, all right. Belgium, Indonesia. We got everybody representing the chat box, huh? I always appreciate that. It just always, like, humblifies to see everybody from around the world in the chat box. It just does something good to see everybody connecting in the crypto community together. Age Smart Housing asks, no, please, tell when will it moon? Is that a question a lot of you guys are having? When will we moon? Because the answer is pretty simple. I know the exact answer for you. When exactly cryptocurrencies will moon, it's already been calculated in. So, but that's one of the reasons. Hopefully, you guys have noticed. I've been making a couple more videos that are like on an elementary level. Hopefully, you guys have noticed on my channel, I've been making more videos about either portfolio or if you want to get started with crypto, how to start, all that type of stuff, right? Wow. Have we got 1,200 people watching? That is insane. That is really, really cool. We don't have that too often. So that is wow. All right. Let me just quickly show you, though, if I can. All right. If you go over to my channel, you'll most likely notice I've been making more videos like this, how to store crypto safely or how to prepare for the bull market. These videos are purely tutorials for people that are new to cryptocurrency. Here's another. That water still messed me up. I'm still dying on the inside, all right? Or here on the right, there's another one, 9 coins to make millions. And the thing is, for me, these videos are stupid. I don't like to make them. Why? Because they're so simple that I think nobody will benefit from them. But then I look at the responses, I look at the comments and think a lot of you guys are having one simple question. When moon, what coins to buy, how to get started with crypto, where to find these cryptos, where to trade, where all these type of things. And so I've decided to make sure I just look at the comments every single day, see what you guys are asking and get to it. Because who am I to think, oh, it's too simple? If somebody has a question, let's get to it, man. It's so simple to me. But that does not mean that everybody's on the same level. But I do believe that every single person watching, it's not different. Everybody can be on the same level if you just take the time to learn it properly. And the simplest thing to understand for anybody is, like I've been saying, all right, take it with a grain of salt, but please do still take it into consideration. If you look at this chart, what does it showcase to you? This shows Bitcoin's price movement throughout the last 11 years, or since its inception, basically, since the beginning here of 2011. What it showcases is every single time it comes down, and I'm repeating it again, it comes down 80%. That's what we call the bear market. And then it goes up a massive percentage, the bull market, then back down, bear market, back up, bull market, back down, bear market, back up, bull market, back down, bear market. Now, what becomes clear? I'll point it out to you in the greatest detail that I can. Every single time after the dip, it goes up, but it takes some time to reach the all-time high, right? You can see this takes a significant amount of time, as the lowest point right here was December of 2011, and the highest point here was December of 2013. 2 years in the middle. All right, here, from the highest point towards the lowest point, how long did it take? It was from November 1st, 2013 to February 1st, 2015. So it took about a year and a half to go down. From February 2015, the major all-time high only came in January of 2018, 3 years later. But then back down from, let's call it January 2018 to about February 2019. So it took about a year to go back down. How long did it take to go back up? Well, it went down at around February 2019. It was only up November of 2021. So 2.5 years it took to get back up. November 2021 down. When did it go down towards? Well, to about December of 2022. So about a little bit over a year. How long will it take to go back up and meet an all-time high? We don't know. But if it's 2.5 years, for example, something along those lines, from the lowest point, 2.5 years, let's call it that. Let's just call it here, middle of 2025. would that not follow the exact same pattern as before? And how much should we go up? Well, even if we just call it like somewhere along these lines, which would be relatively fine, relatively, in terms of gains every single time after that dip, that would place us at Bitcoin at $300,000 or so. And if you think about $300,000 Bitcoin, it's insane, right? But if you really put it into perspective and look at it from this perspective that I'm just explaining it to you at right now, is it really that crazy? And whatever you're seeing on the Bitcoin front is going to be completely outshadowed by whatever's happening on the altcoin front and on the total crypto market cap front. So here's the total crypto market cap. Here's the one excluding Bitcoin. The only point that I'm trying to make here is that it'll follow a similar pattern for Bitcoin, for Bitcoin, or basically all altcoins, I should say, and for entirety with Bitcoin. Both follow a similar pattern. And the only thing that showcases is if Bitcoin goes up, all other altcoins go up as well. Mostly, a little bit more severely though. So when things come down for Bitcoin, these altcoins go down a significant bit more. But if things go up for Bitcoin, the altcoins go up a significant amount more. And that is all you need to know. Trust me when I say I'm not your financial advisor, but that is all you need to understand about crypto to become extremely wealthy off of it. The moment, which is already right now, that we get into recovery, there are some down periods. You can see it even here as well, where we went up, did not hit an all-time high in June of 2019, came back down because of COVID, March 2020, hit a new very low point, right? People thought, oh no, it's over, crypto's dead. And then boom, it rebounded and shot back up to levels we've never seen before. Every single time, people think it's dying until it gets back over the threshold and breaks all expectations. What makes now different? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. We're in exactly the same situation we've been in every single time for the last over a decade. Again, it follows the exact same path time and time again. And for some reason, they're not telling you this the moment you enter crypto, but trust me when I say that the majority of the behemoths, they look at this and this alone. All right, I'm keeping it 100% real with you. We can make it very difficult with all these different charting things. Not necessary. If you're not a trader on a daily front, you don't trade every single day, this is the only thing you have to realize, that Bitcoin is scarce. There are only 21 million that will ever go into existence. And all these freaking asset managers are finding their way to own the majority of it because they understand the game. BlackRock has known the game for a while. Fidelity has known the game for a while. But BlackRock knows as well. The moment that they themselves were to quote-unquote buy it massively or say something too crazy, the price would shoot up too much. So it's all a big game of chicken manipulation and lying, I'd say. Finessing. Any single one of these guys, if they on the forefront say, no, we really like this technology, the price goes up too much. So they're doing it all through crazy schemes and crazy manipulation tactics. My opinion, right? Who agrees with me? Who disagrees? Let's see. Honda coming in with the 2 Canadians saying, fully agree with you 100%. I don't think anybody can disagree, but perhaps I'd be interested to see in the chat box who disagrees with me here. Please let me know. The Video Kingdom says, so in my opinion, they can manipulate the market and slow down the pace. Of course they can. I mean, if you think about it, let me tell you another little story. For anybody that's been in the crypto space for a while, you understand hopefully how the market works, right? An exchange operates on a couple different principles. You've got the people, and you've got the executives. The executives, well, they do a little bit of insider trading, and I'm not talking about only executives, but everybody around that. They do. It's just the truth. So they take a little bit of money away from the people. Where else does the money come from and go, though? Because the retail, they only take up a small percentage. But I'm saying the people is because an institution at the end of the day is just people stacked on top of each other. And 2 nights ago, I had a little meetup with my friends over at Bybit. And you meet people that are more influential than you could ever imagine. And they're just a person with a freaking shorts with a little shirt on, and these are called market makers. Now, there are multiple angles that market makers could take, but at the end of the day, they make your markets. They trade, and they make sure there's a lot of liquidity, and they make money on top of your ass. It depends kind of what type of role they take. They can do a multitude of different things. They can either basically make sure you've got at least as tight as possible, a bid and spread, bid and ask, and they make the spread basically bid and ask, and they make sure they make money on top of that, or basically make money from that. They could also basically arbitrage it to make sure they make the benefit from that. Sometimes these market makers arbitrage from different exchanges, or they just provide liquidity, or they basically put their highly advanced algorithms in place to when they get a big part of the token supply. We're seeing this with so many different huge tokens as well. What's a good example? Arbitrum, one supply, one party has so much control over it, controls the price to the fullest because they've got a ton of the tokens. So they basically algorithmically sell, algorithmically buy to get the price moving in a certain way. You have these price stops, you have price limits where these guys basically make sure the price doesn't drop below a certain level, doesn't go above a certain level by, again, placing some strategic, basically blockades of sorts because these guys have a lot of money, or the party that wants to manipulate the price applies the money, puts the money there. Right? Why? Because that way you can get healthy ecosystems. At the end of the day, very often people, again, I'm saying people, project managers, they want the price to trade in a certain range because, again, these guys make money off of DEX fees, for example, too. So the more that gets traded, the more money that they make. Sometimes the more in a certain range it stays, the more money that they can make over longer periods of time. It's a deeper story. It's a long-lasting story. Only thing I'm trying to say here is that there's so much more manipulation than many people realize. And from an institutional perspective, these guys are so big, they could just change the game within a second, but they don't want to. And most likely, that's not a coincidence either, right? It's not that they don't want to, it's that they're choosing not to do so for obvious reasons. But yeah. Guys, I think we've covered everything, though, that I wanted to cover. I will get another little stream out to you guys later, talking about some cool stuff. We definitely got some cool stuff up and coming, so hopefully you guys will stick around the channel and make sure you put that notification bell on. I'm going to try to do streams more often with cool information. But for right now, I'm just saying I'm out. Hopefully you guys all enjoyed this little stream, little update with all some cool stuff. And I'm ending it off here before I start going too crazy on these theories, all right? When is the lawsuit over? Hopefully soon enough, my buddies. Hopefully soon enough. But yeah, that was it, guys. Hopefully see you guys again in another crypto video or another crypto live stream. I've gotten you guys a ton of information, hopefully. Everybody, if you enjoyed it, make sure you go ahead and press that like button. And I'll see you guys again in another stream very, very soon. See ya.